My grandma was 92 when she passed last year.
Well, I'd say anyone who's lived to be in their 90s certainly lived a pretty long life.
Yes. She. I personally don't think she lived her last 10 years because after my grandpa passed, um, she fell deep into depression and she just didn't go anywhere.
Hmm.
So she just sat in her chair, sat at home, and just wasted away to nothing.
Do you think the lights were
And
on, but no one was home?
at some point, I think it turned out that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
That's
I
unfortunate.
think
That's unfortunate.
right before she died, my dad had suspected that she was coming down with not Alzheimer's, dementia. It was never diagnosed, but my dad had this suspicion.
My grandma on my dad's side had dementia before she passed. It was interesting. She would tell tales of grand adventures, climbing up cliffs and towers and whatnot. Oh yeah, I just got back and I'm still real sore. She'd been in bed all day long.
She'd been in bed all day long. But
we thought that at one point I had suspected the lights were on, but no one was home. But she still had her lucid moments. So
yeah, that's what my grandma was too. She had her lucid moments, but like there was a phone call that she had received while I was down there, and I think it was Kathy, who was a longtime family friend, used to babysit my dad and his brother. She was asking about whether she still read and all that stuff, and she's like, "Yeah, I still read." And my parents were shaking their heads, "No, she hasn't read in quite some time."
read being like books or read to them?
Books, yeah, books. Like she hasn't read any books in quite some time.
What an odd question.
Read being like books or read to them. She used to love to read, and she would always be reading the Laura Wilde.
Odd question. I see.
On my side of things, on my dad's side of the family, it was his dad that went first, and then on my mom's side of the family, it was her dad that went first. So both grandmothers outlived their husbands. And I'm like, oh, well, having experienced what happened with my dad's mom and how quickly she deteriorated, I'm surprised that my mom's mom hung out this long.
It's actually not uncommon for wives to outlive their husbands.
You making plans already?
Oh, you know it.
It was my grandfather on my mom's side who went first due to cancer, and then his wife. It was many years later.
My grandfather on my mom's
within
side
the decade
who went
at least.
First due to cancer.
And then
his wife.
My grandma on my dad's side went, though I don't
within
know what
the decade
happened
at least.
To her husband, because they had been divorced several decades ago.
My grandma on my dad's side went, though I don't know what happened
My dad's mom
to her husband, because
managed
they had
to
been
live
divorced
to be
decades ago.
at least in her early centurion years. Yeah, she broke 100. I'm like, whoa.
That's impressive.
But not long after that, when she was without her husband, she had a live-in maid who took care of her, you know, just to be a familiar presence, a friend and whatnot, someone to talk to. So she was never alone. Though romantically she was. So that was
That was probably the
Yeah.
biggest thing that did her in because she missed her husband, something fierce. So, she's with him now. Um, then there's my mom's grandma, my mom's mom. Husband passed away in a not too terribly. I mean, I think he went pretty quietly.
Boy, this is just an upbeat conversation, isn't it?
Moving on though.
Boy,
I
this
got
is
to
just
give my
an
grandmother
upbeat
a
conversation,
hug
isn't
and
it?
quietly apologize to her for not contacting her as much as I should have been. And though weakly, she said that it's okay and that she loves me back. And I quietly whispered a small verse to a song called "You Raise Me Up," and it brought a smile. It brought a smile to her face.
Aw.
Oh, that sounds nice.
So, and then after that, I hung out with with my aunt for a little while my mom, uncle, and aunt and my other aunt were off at Lowe's getting something. And we were all just getting ready to eventually go watch the fireworks. But before that, Aunt Sue, who I was hanging out with, she I introduced her to this really funny comedian who she got a real good kick out of him. And once the others got here, she treated us to what she calls a chocolate lasagna. But what it really was a cake, layered with a chocolate pudding on top of a cookie of some kind. I think it was an Oreo, a big one. And So it was cookie on the bottom, pudding on top of that with really fluffy frosting on the top, or whipped cream or something like that, with chocolate sprinkles in it. And she outdid herself with this. It was fantastic. And then we watched the fireworks, and I actually managed to catch pretty much the entirety of the fireworks display.
Fireworks on the 3rd.
Yeah.
It's,
right. It's a little strange.
4th of July is
Fireworks
really
on the
big
3rd.
on that side of the country.
That's fair.
And
Yeah.
so it's not unusual to hear that they're doing it on the. You're gonna see some big things on the 4th too.
That's fair.
It's probably because they expected the 4th to be ludicrously busy, and to their credit, the university, we went to this university in Edinburgh, and with a whole heap load of people just all over the place. They even had, I think they had a bounce house somewhere. They had
Nice.
a whole bunch of food vans and whatnot. I got to try a jalapeno popper for the first time. And I'm like, oh my god.
I was gonna say, you've never had a jalapeno before?
I've tasted a jalapeno pepper before, but never a jalapeno popper.
I was gonna say, you've never had a jalapeno before?
The seeds out, fill it with cheese, bread it, and deep fry it.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm familiar with poppers.
So they did it with bacon, sausage, and cream cheese.
Ah,
Yep.
so armadillo eggs.
I'm familiar with poppers.
Having been newly introduced to it, I wouldn't know one way or another.
Armadillo eggs is what they call it. All right.
At least in Texas and southeast New Mexico.
That is such a Texas thing.
It
Armadillo
absolutely
eggs is what they call it. All right.
I don't know what they call them over there, but
that is
they're
such
called
a Texas
armadillo
thing.
eggs where I come from. And it's basically what you said, a jalapeno hollowed out, filled with cream cheese, and wrapped in bacon.
That is like offensively Texas.
I'm actually glad that I waited till after the show to
offensively
grab some poppers,
Texas.
because when I did, the lady at the counter was nice enough to give me extra, so I was able to pass out enough for 2 for myself, 2 for my mom, and then her brother, then her sister, and her brother's wife. So for all 6 of us, we each got 2 for the price of 1 order for $10. So I'm like, oh, thank you. Walked away with a bunch of extras, and when I was walking back towards where the others were, I could feel my phone vibrating because my mom was trying to call me, no doubt, because the show had just ended and they were leaving, and I guess she was trying to get a hold of me, and I'm like, crap, I can't answer the phone because my hands are full.
Rip.
Rip indeed. But as I was walking up the road to where I parked, I could see her from behind. I'm like, "Hey, Mom, I'm right here." And she's like, "Oh." And he's like, "I couldn't answer your phone. I couldn't answer the phone because I had my hands full." She's like, "Oh, crap." Well, she just starts laughing. I'm gonna be coming home tomorrow, and I'm delivering some, and I'm driving home with some stuff that she needed me to bring back. Because I'm not gonna be able to drive her back like the original plan was, because she's not coming back until Tuesday, so she's flying back. But I get to drive her Genesis from the house and back.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a really nice car from like 2016. She barely drives it, but she takes good care of it. She really only drives it when she's planning to go somewhere nice. But she let me drive it.
Hey, Uda, are you looking for a car right now?
Well, I've still got my Toyota. It's still
Hey, Uda, are you looking for a car right now? Reason I ask is we're trying to sell mine. And the people who said they were interested never got back to us. After making us wait all day. Reason I ask is we're trying to sell mine.
By the way, I still want to join the stream, but I don't...
said they were interested, never got back to us. After making us wait all day long. Do you follow me?
I think I have you followed.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if there's something. Do you follow me? Here. That's the fear.
Let me pop up Twitch.
That's something wrong here.
It says you're streaming World of Tanks on DLive.
Oh, I guess it didn't change the thing.
Shows you online on Twitch.
Yeah, I'm on Twitch. Oh, I guess it changed the thing.
World of Tanks.
Yeah, it shows you live on Twitch. Saturday night game. I'll try to.
There.
Huh?
I posted the link in. So,
okay.
If you ever need the link to any of our streams, it's going to be up in the stream plugs. They're supposed to post via Restream bot, Cephalon Sark, whenever you start streaming. That is really choppy.
The game or the camera?
The game.
Alright, I'm fine. I'll turn freaking face rig off and watch it all go away. Let me know if that's any better. Any better?
I think it's still catching up. It might be my end. It's still kind of choppy.
It's choppy on my end, too.
Oh, fuck.
Like, when you're standing still, it's fine. I've got to get you that CPU upgrade.
Jeez. I can't imagine what it must be like to walk inside of a building with that low of a ceiling.
You're talking to a guy who's 6'5", it's not nice.
I mean, that's like super claustrophobia right there.
Yeah. Waking up every day and seeing the ceiling that close to you, and you swear every single day the ceiling is getting closer and closer and closer.
Why is it so choppy? Oh, fuck.
Could it be your settings in OBS?
Could be. I don't know. I don't know what I'd change. Would it be the bitrate?
Maybe.
I'm already down at 2,000.
So is this game about, I'm assuming it's a survival game?
It is a survival game, yes.
Yes.
It's a survival game with story to it. And I don't want to I don't want to tell too much of the story away. But you're stranded.
TLDR. Let me take this. TLDR, there's a plane crash and you're tasked with survival and finding your son. Still looks like shit.
Meanwhile, cannibals are trying to eat you.
Yep, par for the course.
You know what game I haven't played in forever? Green Hell.
That game kind of sucks.
I enjoy it.
Oh, I enjoy it too. It's a shitty game.
I mean, I'd enjoy it more if it bitched at me less, but...
Fucking piece of shit! Oh no! So fucking hungry. God, I could use a drink.
Bad idea! Bad idea!
Why is it so shitty looking?
In the water, look out!
Ugh.